Silver, the precious metal known for its allure as jewelry and industrial application, just endured a momentous shock. London Silver Fixing Limited, a company that for 117 years has run a benchmarking process among a few banks to set silver prices for bulk consumers, is shuttering on August 14th. Here with me to chat about the big fix is Jeffrey Sica of Sica Wealth Management. Jeff, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So Jeff, should retail investors be worried about this news?
Well, I think it's important for retail investors to realize where this is coming from. If you look at things, the controversy over the LIBOR scandal and some of the other scandals, this is to eliminate some of what could be interpreted as price fixing, could be interpreted as manipulation. So I believe ultimately it's not going to have any dramatic impact on retail investors because retail investors are going to want less manipulation in the silver market.
And it's interesting as a number of banks are pulling back in the commodity space, and we continue to discuss these dark pools and these kind of obscure situations like the silver fix. How should investors be looking at all of these different type of, well, I think you're calling them dark pools or unknown changes?
Well, it's interesting because when you look at the overall market, whether it's the silver market or the commodities market or the stock market, there's this whole concept of deciding on a price absent from public view. And that's how a dark pool works in the stock market, and it also works in some of the commodities exchanges in the silver market, where a handful of people, a very small percentage of people, would decide at one particular moment that that would be the price of silver for that day. And this goes back, as you said, this goes back 117 years. This is one of the tried and true ways of viewing the silver market. But now when you get to the point where those handful of people have far too much influence on what affects the world, which the silver and precious metals market affect the world, it becomes far too risky.
Yeah, and even the people who had been part of this panel saying we're going to step away from this, probably for their own good as well.
Right. I think there was a decision as one member started to drop off the panel after another. There was the decision either we were going to make this panel very small and risk the backlash of what happened with LIBOR, or we're going to close this down. And I believe that they made the right decision by closing it down, because now they're going to at least have the ability to have another mechanism step in that eliminates some of the price manipulation potential.
Yeah. And spot price for silver, of course, still exists, and maybe these bulk consumers will head over there for their prices. But anyway, Jeff, as always, thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks again to my guest, Jeffrey Sica of Sica Wealth Management. For TheStreet in New York, I'm Joe Deaux.